Where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu joined the state governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, to inaugurate the first state-of-the-art government house on Thursday, marking a historic milestone more than 30 years after the state's creation. It was the president's first visit to the state after becoming president. Tinubu applauded Soludo for laying a strong foundation in the state, adding that Anambra is on the rise and that the massive infrastructural projects align with Soludo's vision for Anambra to become the Dubai, Taiwan, and the Silicon Valley of Africa. The president also jokingly asked Soludo to get him a land in Anambra for his retirement home. Let's take a look.
I am now bona fide son of the soil. One of your son, I say your own son, maybe my friend and your governor, Charles Soludo, should find me a plot of land for my retirement home. You don't have to move me from the villa for only 1 week. Give me permanent abode. Thank you very much.
Now our papa be this, so we no get another one. Now our papa be this, so That was beautiful to see. While the inauguration ceremony was filled with excitement, the president was also honored with the traditional title, Dike Simba Anambra, meaning warrior from the diaspora, by the state's traditional rulers. This honor was bestowed upon him in recognition of his contributions across the nation. Let's take a look.
Shall I go ahead?
Anambra Jagabano nke Nigeria nine odike Simba analudogo no tuanie dike Simba o.
Congratulations, Dike Simba, Jagaban Anambra, no, Jagaban Anambra,
aka Dike Simba.
I love it. Congratulations on Jagaban. Why not? Meanwhile, the Anambra State Governor, during the inauguration ceremony, said that the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, will continue its policy of adopting a sitting president as its candidate for the upcoming 2027 elections, emphasizing that APGA is strategically and ideologically aligned with the federal government and the renewed hope agenda. Let's take a look.
I want to put on record that it is in time for all progressives. It is time for all progressives, for all the federalists, and all parties with social democratic, centrist, and left-of-center credentials to unite, to advance the purpose of a united and progressive Nigeria. May God bless the Jagaban, bless the renewed hope agenda, may God bless Anambra State, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Go ahead.
let us thank the people of Anambra. Anambra has shown that, they are very good guests. They showed a lot of hospitality towards President Tinubu. From those who were singing our Akpabio, so it was a very cordial, joyful reception that they had for the president. And 179 traditional rulers came together and, honored him with Dikesimba, Anambra. And then the governor also was very friendly towards him. I think the optics look very good. Anambra has done very well.
Yes.
Number two, the other issue that I want to address is the fact that the governor has built a new government house. Now, it's not only a new government house that he has built. It's an entire complex that will house the government, that will have also a government house. The governor himself pointed out that there is even a presidential lodge to which the president can relocate for 2 weeks and come and enjoy the beauty of Anambra. If you leave the government house, because I've been there, and the secretariat in front, it's a one-stop government complex. Anambra State has not had anything like that. And the current government house actually is a makeshift building that one governor after the other has been living in. This will be the first time that a governor will give that state, a government house.
Actually, a state-of-the-art government house.
No, it's fantastic.
Yes.
And then, what is on the screen now? That's like, a tourist center.
Yes.
It has a clubhouse. It has this tourist location.
Yeah.
It has behind it, a small stadium to encourage people of Anambra to come home for weekends, to invest in their own home state, and to bring even their children. So what Governor Soludo is doing here is to create an enabling environment for the running of government, and also, for Anambra people who are in diaspora to come home. Number three, the part of it that I'm a bit, worried about is Governor Soludo saying, we are all progressives. Alliance, All Progressives Congress, and Alliance, All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, and that in 2027 the progressives should come together,
yes,
to promote the ideology of progressivism.
Yes.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, and it's as follows. In 2003, this was how President Obasanjo and his strategists said, they are criticizing him. They are saying he doesn't have a strong base in his own region. And, the strategists tried to talk to the governors who were from AD at that time. This was how the governors said, we will support President Tinubu during presidential election. But during governorship election, vote for AD, because that's more or less what the governor is saying in Anambra. Vote for me during governorship, vote for President Tinubu during presidential election. Do you know that all the governors that followed that route in 2003 in the Southwest, they lost their positions? The only man that survived was this same Dikesimba of Igbo land. He's the only one that survived. That's why they call him the last man standing. Because during his own campaign, he told the people of Lagos, just vote for AD. All the other people who thought they could separate the two, they lost their positions. And what is the point? It's about political education. Most of the voters, most of the people who come out on election day, they will not make any difference. They will just say the governor has told us to support President Tinubu. Now our Akpabio, so they can go and just vote for APC all through.
All right.
So there is a lot of work ahead for APGA in Anambra State, and also for the governor to make sure that the electorate can make that proper distinction.
All right. Well, congratulations to the people of Anambra. Before I come to you, Reufai, now let's take this video showing President Tinubu and Governor Soludo dancing to Flavor's hit track, Game Changer, at the Anambra Stadium. Let's take a look. Reufai, I dancing so much. Please show Reufai. Reufai has been dancing. Quick comment. This video was trending everywhere.
Because I know I have short
Yes.
on it. Couple of things. Good one on the optics and everything.
Yes.
You see, but give it to President Tinubu. I always give him his flowers. I disagree with him on many things, but I give him his flowers. He's a very deft political activist and political player and strategist. You see, what Dr. Abati cited when he said, oh, in 2023, that 2003, they drifted towards a path. Yes, that affected a lot of, those governors in 2003, and some of them, they didn't just even do their homework. I remember, I can't recount the story of what really happened to people like Oshoba when Bengadania beat him there, but that's a talk for another day because I don't have time. But also, that same thing was done. The government you serve in, Jonathan government, had that same deal with President Tinubu in 2011. But guess what? President Tinubu was smart enough to be able to tell the people that, see, Lagos, PDP, presidential, but governorship, we come back to base. And Babatuni Fashola had an overwhelming return. As regards all of this project launch, please, it's something across every African country. I'm always scared when I see leaders building new government houses. They say there's nothing been there and all of that.
Yeah.
Because in other parts of the world, when last did you hear that America is building a new White House?
Yeah.
When last did you hear that we are doing infrastructural projects in other developed nations about a befitting presidential palace?
Right.
This idea that you must have a befitting presidential palace, I don't think is the right one. I think we should put more resource into the people.
Well said.
22 Sussex Street in Canada has been of dispute.
Right.
The building went derelict. Guess what? Nobody there touched to repair the building because they knew the people would go against them.
Yeah.
So let's focus more on doing things for the people rather than edifices for whoever is governor at any point in time.
Well said, Reufai. I mean, you're absolutely spot on. The idea of building.
In Anambra, it's like a three-arm zone.
It's a three-arm zone. That's what can I just
So that's the model.
Right.
The legislature, the judiciary, then government secretariat. The government lodge is just at the back. But so where the governor of Anambra lives now, even you, Reufai, you can build it and live there. It's just a small...
Well, everyone has an opinion here, and I think that Reufai is quite correct in terms of, putting resources more on, security and other more important things than, productivity than edifices like this. And you are right, Dr. Abati, saying that, this new state-of-the-art government house is a three-arm government with, the legislature and also the judiciary. So at the end of the day, the Anambra people win, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's correct.
To Ndi Anambra. Well, in another development, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has urged Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, to address internal conflicts within his party before making divisive statements about Nigeria. Akpabio spoke during the valedictory session in honor of the late Edwin Clark, criticizing Peter Obi's recent remarks, suggesting that the efforts of Nigeria's past heroes were in vain. Let's take a look.
When somebody makes a statement that the labors of our heroes past are in vain, I beg to disagree. Let our brother Peter Obi show leadership like Edwin Clark did by resolving first the crisis in the Labour Party. For a man who wants to run Nigeria, you have one of the smallest parties in Nigeria, and you cannot even resolve the crisis in that Labour Party. Is it the crisis of Boko Haram that you will come and resolve in Nigeria? I would like us to be known for what we did when we had the opportunities. As I speak now, I can tell you about the dualized thoroughfares in my state. I can tell about the flyovers in my state. I can tell about the best international hospital in my state. I can tell about the monuments of government houses that are built, both for the governor and deputy. I'm one of the best digitalized governor's office in Nigeria. I can tell you about the best international stadium in West Africa. I can tell you about the free and compulsory education that I did for all Nigerians. I can tell you about the unity I brought in religion by sponsoring over 5,800 Muslims to the Holy Land and over 12 to 15,000 Christians to Rome and to Jerusalem. But then, those who are aspiring as presidential candidates and trying to cause division with their mouths, using the social media, tell them to resolve the small crisis in the smallest party they have in Nigeria first, before they come to talk about the larger Nigeria. But for the social media, it is unregulated. I wish you luck as you have a field day.
That was violent. Let me take this tweet. From Voice of the Oppressed, he wrote, misplaced priorities in his achievements mentioned in this video when he was governor. For example, 1, sent thousands of Muslims to Hajj and thousands of Christians to Rome and Israel for pilgrimage. The question is, what value does it add to GDP? 2, building the largest stadium in the West Africa in a country where our local league is crippled. 3, bragging of building of government houses for privileged few in this 21st century in a country where it's at brim of collapsing. Nigerians will never get it right until they stand up against all these odds that have bent to impoverish them from cradle to the grave. I mean, that was a loaded tweet as well, but yes, I think he was.
I think with due respect,
quickly.
Whatever he has spent on the pilgrims, you know, I think he should go and get that money. I know that money is gone, but if possible, we should get them back. And he could use it to fix schools and do things that are more important. You see, these leaders don't even understand the basic and the most important things, which are services to humanity, hospitals, schools, and the likes. And these are things that make a society. Awolowo's free education to today, we still talk about it. Bragging about building a stadium. Yes, okay, to attract people to play. But what about having an ancillary football team also there to be able to run out of the place?
That's it.
Then he talked about a hospital. Can you recommend that hospital for president?
Is it the 41 billion?
I can't remember.
Hospital,
I want him, since
hospital.
he said he's built an hospital, and the hospital is working, you should recommend the hospital for President Tinubu for his health checks. Because if you can build such a hospital, I don't see why President Tinubu,
according to Frank Shaibu's comment, all right,
have health checks anywhere else. So please, you should recommend that hospital for President Tinubu. But it just shows you that the priority is always different.
All right.
And if these politicians keep talking like it's their money, it's not your money.
Yeah.
If you sell Obitu to regale you with the things you do, we'll be able to tell you the things you do with the people's money.
Yes.
So it's not, I did it.
Yes.
I did it. No. If you brought out money from your pocket, we will be able to know.
All right.
So that's just it, pure and simple. But
you
should recommend that hospital for president.
You should recommend. That was Frank Shaibu. Vimbai has not spoken, and you know we really have very little time. A comment quickly, then we move, because I know you want to do your Enugu
You know, I always
story.
like to say two things can be true.
Yes.
Akwa Ibom is doing well as a state. That's the honest truth. We cannot take away from that. You visit Uyo, and Uyo as the capital, and even on the fringes outside of Uyo, Akwa Ibom is, I believe in the past 6 years, the IGR has increased by over 170%. Having said that, I also think that it's not necessary to use some of these platforms to attack somebody who is not in the Senate. I understand if it was a debate happening within the Senate floor about opposition or about other things, but to bring that conversation into whatever was happening in the Senate at that moment, I think may have been misplaced. However, having said that, does the Labour Party drama need to be resolved? It does.
Right.
And this is what's happening with opposition parties across Africa. We spoke about Hakainde Hichilema here earlier, the Zambian opposition who came into power, and now America is cutting aid because they are unable to regulate the theft of medicine that is being donated by the US. So opposition parties also need to get their house in order. So
absolutely.
two things
I
can
like
be
that
true
point.
at the same time.
A quick comment, less than 20 seconds.
Mrs.
Vimbai, Mutiri Akpabio. That's why I had to make that.
You're calling me by my government name. Am I safe?
No, I just wanted to say I don't expect you
No, but mine is Cross River, not
What's the difference?
Oh!
When I went to school in Cross River,
state,
the two states were the same. But, you know, I agree with you. that, there's been a lot of transformation in Akpabio State. But one thing to say quickly, I don't think anybody should claim sponsorship of pilgrimages as an achievement. Now, we have said it again and again, that Section 10 of the Nigerian Constitution says there shall be no state religion. And that is what we have always said, that state governments have no business sponsoring anybody on pilgrimage. Religion is a personal orthodoxy. If you want to go to Israel or you want to go to Saudi Arabia, sponsor yourself. So it's not something anybody can claim as achievement. Number two, very quickly also, the Akpabio International Stadium has been very useful to Nigeria.
Okay.
That is a very visible achievement. It's right to claim that. Number three is about Mr. Peter Obi. Now, yesterday I said he has not committed any offense with what he said.
Yes.
Okay, he says the labor of our leaders past is now in vain and all of that. That is his personal opinion. He's saying that Nigeria is a country that have not met its potential, that has not fulfilled the dream of the founding fathers. How is that a crime?
Yes.
Okay, so and then all this comparison and all of that, the focus should be at that plenary on Edwin Clark.
Correct.
Because that was the occasion.
Correct.
Edwin
Well
Clark.
said.
And then the Senate president was saying he was speaking in the voice of Edwin Clark. How do we know that?
No, he said it. He said it during the president.
He's the AI version of Edwin Clark.
How does he know that?
How do we know that?
I mean,
that is what Edwin Clark, now blessed memory,
well,
said. They should just leave Peter Obi alone.
This is it.
He can express himself.
Right.
He's a citizen.
Like we said yesterday, we always have to speak truth to power.
Seriously.